Good evening. It's Dr. John Bennett broadcasting from Miami for Neurosurgical TV. Tonight, we have the pleasure of having Shannon Hibbert, a
Yeah,
patient support advocate. That's correct, right, Shannon?
yeah. Advocate for, and I'm also a
Okay.
radio host
Okay. I'll
on
come to
for
that.
my show.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can explain exactly what you do. But let me first
Okay.
introduce the guest before we start, Shannon, okay?
All right.
I'd like
Great.
to, hello, Diana.
Hi.
Okay. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Sure. So my name is Diana. I recently just graduated from Larkin University from a graduate program. So I now have my master's in biomedical sciences, and I'm currently applying to medical school.
Oh, that's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Okay, Melanie, could you say hello, please, and introduce yourself?
Hi, my name is Mailenis Fuentes. I am a classmate of Diana. I also have my master's in biomedical sciences and getting done to these med applications.
Okay, Melanie and Diana, we have a different aspect now. We're going to see the patient side rather than seeing a doctor lecture. And welcome, Shannon. Why don't you just tell us all about yourself and your projects and what you've done?
All right. Great.
And then let me know when you want to go to your website.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Well, my name is Shannon Marie Hilbert, and I suffered a traumatic brain injury on November 17th of 84. So it'll be 33 years this November. And I was in a coma and for about 6 weeks, and I had to learn how to walk again and talk and just function all over in rehabilitation hospital. And learning to walk and all that, and becoming acclimated to myself and the surroundings was, it was okay. But I was a sophomore at the time in high school, and I had just started, that September. So it was November I got in my accident. So I went back to high school in 85, a year late. So I graduated in 88 instead of 87. And I tested for mainstream education. My mother instilled in me to never give up, to always go after the goal, to pursue your heart out. And I just did that. There wasn't anything that I couldn't do. So that, and then after I graduated from high school, I went to college, and it was kind of rough. And then I went to a different college. Well, I stayed in one college, one university for 2 years. Well, a year, okay. And then I went to another one for a half a semester. Well, a semester. So I didn't know where to go, And at Wichita State University and their disability program, disability office, that's where they told me where to go. And I went to the vocational rehabilitation services at my local SRS, social rehabilitation medicine, social rehabilitation services for Kansas. And they helped me go get in a program at Cerebral Palsy Research Foundation in Wichita, and it was called Gateway. It was a program that for people who have had brain injuries. And I successfully completed that program. And I had a job coach from Goodwill Industries of Kansas. And I tried out several different jobs, like a guided occupational trials, GOTs is what they're called. And I got a job at Koch Industries in Wichita, Kansas. And KOCH, Charles Koch, owns the company. It's a multi-conglomerate. You know, he's one of the wealthiest men in America. And that was okay. I stayed there for 8 years, and then I got a job doing at Bank of America, doing answering the phone and all that. And I had a problem with my jaw and my mouth, a TMJ. You'll find that in people who have experienced brain trauma, temporomandibular joint disorder. They experience that. I thought I had a tumor in my head because it was just, it just hurt so bad. I had testing done on every doctor you can think of, that thinking there was something wrong with my brain, but it was my jaw. My jaw hadn't healed correctly. The temporomandibular joint disorder, the bone, it didn't heal correctly. So that I had that fixed. And then I have something that's called absence seizures, where I can be, just watching TV or talking to you, and I'll just have a spark in my brain. So I'll have one of those, the absence seizure. And I am on Zonamide, the seizure medication for that. But I mean, things are going okay. But how I got involved in the brain injury community.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that.
On Facebook.
Yeah, okay. That's the first step?
Yeah. Yes, okay. On Facebook, yeah. And we had a Peer 411, and that was an advocate service where anyone could call in to that number, the Peer 411, number. As part of the brain injury radio network.
Where's that located, Shannon? Where's that located? That organization?
Well, it's all over the world, but Craig Cecilia.
Okay. It's called the Brain Injury Network. Brain Injury Network.
Yeah, Brain Injury. Okay, Brain Injury Radio Network.
Oh, okay. So you started working for them a while back.
Oh, yeah. And Craig Cecilia, he is our founder, and he started the radio network by himself, and it was 7 years ago. And he just had it on one night a week, and it was so loved. People really tuned into it. That he made it go for like 7 nights a week. And then, now that we are in our 7th year, and it is just so many people call, I had a lady call this last Thursday from Oklahoma, and she was in despair. She didn't know what to do, and we told her, what to do and counseled her. And I have several other people on my team, on my Be Positive with Shanna Marie, my radio show. So that it is just wonderful that
Okay, can you tell us where is that located? Where is that located? And braininjurynetwork.com?
Brain Injury Radio Network.
Radio. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, and so anyone can watch that on what night? What night does that take place?
Every night.
Every night. So you're on every night on the radio.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a regular job.
I know. but all hosts do it for free. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So every night at what time?
Like at 9. 9
at Wichita time?
Eastern time. Well, 10 Eastern time.
Okay.
So you can listen to it tonight.
Oh, okay. So you have a different topic every night, or is it just kind of an open mic?
Yeah. So different hosts. Well, I want you to look at the website.
Okay.
John.
Okay. Let's look at it right now. Let me punch it up here so you can take us through it.
Okay. Yeah, Brain Injury Radio.
Okay. Okay, and is telecast? Well, you can just come here and listen to it, correct?
Yes, or you can call.
Okay, and the number's up there.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
See the upcoming yeah, it is. It's so neat.
Oh, upcoming. So every night a different topic, or?
Yes, sir. Different topic. Yeah.
Wow, that must keep people busy.
Yeah, and it's also on sometimes during I believe Thursdays and Sundays or Saturdays, and it's on like 2 times. It's on for 2 shows.
Okay.
So you can delve into that.
Do you have your own separate page for Brain Injury Network? Let me, because this is a general page for them all. But how do I get to the Brain Injury Network radio page? Is there a page that you have?
Brain Injury Radio, yeah.
I just click on. Okay, I clicked on the. Okay, I clicked on it now.
Okay, wait, stay here. Do upcoming broadcasts. Okay, now go
upcoming broadcasts. Where's that?
Well, it's where my little mouse is. Upcoming broadcasts.
I can't see that. I see upcoming broadcast. Oh, there we go. There we go.
Okay, now scroll down, okay? And see, there's like 1. No, don't go any further. Go, okay? Stop, okay? And then there's 1, and then go to 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, do that.
This is all stepping stones. Oh, okay. Stepping stones to accepting life with a TBI.
Yeah, and
punch great. 2. And all the shows are archived.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's a good source. What do you think, Diana and Melanie's?
It's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's good for a patient to be able to do that. Now, a patient can just come to this website, listen to it, and they can call in a question.
Yeah, yeah, certainly, yeah.
So
I want you to call in at 9.
Well, I will. This is a tremendous resource for patients, and they can ask questions of the topics you're talking about, or just generally, any question with brain injury, or they pretty well follow the topic.
Any question with brain injury, and we also do other neurological diseases and all that,
In this particular show, or do you have another channel for that?
No, no, it's just in our show, yeah.
Okay. Wow, it must keep someone busy to get different topics every night.
Oh, well, no, it's up to it's up to the person
Yeah.
who
Who runs the
has
channel? Do you run the channel and pick the topics?
Yeah, uh-huh.
Oh, wow. So can you give us examples of topics you cover?
Okay. Well, we cover. I cover. A friend of mine has Parkinson's disease. You know,
Okay.
and
Oh, so it's not just okay. So
yeah.
it's neurological syndromes as well as injury, not just traumatic
Oh,
brain
yeah,
injury.
yeah. And Kim, you see, Kim. Uh, okay, go
Multiple
back to
sclerosis.
go
Okay, go
back to
back.
3.
Okay.
Okay, no, go back.
Terry Smith. Oh, Terry Smith. I've communicated with him.
Yeah, go back to 2. Yeah, okay, Kim.
This
She
Kim
is
Justice.
Kim Justice. Yeah, she is the that runs the boards. You know,
Okay.
and I asked you if you wanted to sponsor our website. So
Okay.
that's what I was talking to you about earlier. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, and so you would get your logo like on brain injury, the neurology,
Okay.
neurosurgery, on here.
Okay. Well, maybe
And we would
someday we'll be doing that, and certainly extend the invitation to them if they want to appear like you are
Oh
on video.
yeah,
On
yeah.
video, if they want to do some shows, they're welcome to stay to come on with us too on
Yeah.
Neurosurgical TV.
I want to get all the girls,
Hmm.
that
Sure.
and interview them about, what, and that'd be so awesome to have you on as guests.
That would be
You know,
great.
and
We could also
talk to
bring neurosurgeons on too, if you'd like.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm sure they would like to. Now, can you take us through that's basically the website. It's pretty simple, right? The radio broadcast,
Yeah,
the telephones,
okay.
and I
All
think
right.
I think we may have a couple of questions. I think maybe Diana and Melanie might have some questions. Do you have any questions, Diana or Melanie's, of the work that Shannon's doing?
Oh, for the radio, like podcast type of thing that happens every night.
Yeah.
Do you guys have physicians on?
Physicians? Oh yeah, yeah. We sure do. Yeah.
Is it mostly patients, though, right?
And it goes all over the United States, 36 foreign countries, and all of the military bases.
Mm-hmm.
So we are in the world,
Yeah.
And I think that it would be so beneficial if you would get on here,
Yeah,
John.
yeah, we can probably supply neurosurgeons because neurosurgeons, I don't know, Diana and Melanie, you probably don't know this, but Shannon was in one of our conferences in Asia. She gave a talk on the patient view of recovery from brain trauma, and some of the neurosurgeons remarked that we really need someone like Shannon in our practice because someone needs to address the issues that patients address as they recover from brain injury. Can you tell us the big issues that a brain injured patient faces, Shannon? In your estimation?
Yes, I sure can. Okay. One thing is, what do you tell your doctors? When you leave the hospital, and what do you tell your doctors? Do you tell them, well, they want you to check back in with them, in so many weeks or so many months, but you need an advocate. You need to have someone with you, like a family member or someone from Social Security or a close friend that can guide you when you leave the hospital with a brain trauma, and and
Right,
just
because you're not
guide,
working with a good computer, right?
yeah, and guide you along the way. And
Okay.
you need to organize your life. You know, you need to write down on a piece of paper, you know, a daily time sheet, you know, and you know, say what you're going to do on each area of time, so you don't pass a day and think, well, what did I do that day, you know? So
Right.
it's documented.
Right.
And
So, so you need help with regular duties, actually. Well, I guess
oh,
every
yes,
injury is different on how severe it is,
yeah,
but
and
you definitely
uh,
need to have someone helping you, right?
oh yeah, yeah, you certainly do, yeah. Um, and the challenges, um, you know, fortunately for me, I was still living with my mother and in high school and all that, so
Mhm.
I had all the assurances and all that,
Mhm.
but you know, someone who is single and all that, and they've experienced a traumatic brain injury, um, you know, they're like they're like sheep when you put release them out to the wolves, you know, because they don't know where to go and they
Right.
don't know what to do.
Right.
The
So
the
you need.
challenges that you
Okay.
face commonly.
Okay. So
Um,
the functioning there's functioning challenges. What other challenges are there in dealing with everyday life with a brain injured patient? What other,
okay. Um, well,
like medication?
like I
Obviously,
said
you have to have someone
before,
kind of lead you through taking medication, and
yes, yeah. And like I mentioned before, you need to write down your times, and so
right.
you can schedule your day
Hmm.
so it doesn't just drift away. And you need to have someone help you, you know, shopping, you know, grocery shopping, or having like to clean house, or you know, because you may not be able to stand in the shower, you know,
Right.
you may need a nurse aide to
Right.
come, you know, sometimes during the day, and you need to take your medication. You need to really take your medication every day, and you need to document what you're doing.
Well, you know, Shannon,
And
Shannon, like I mentioned, every patient is disabled to different degrees.
oh
Now,
yes, uh-huh.
does your doctor generally have someone that assesses the level of disability accurately of a patient to see what they can do or cannot do? Is that done normally?
Well, if you're in rehabilitation hospital, certainly, yeah, they do.
Oh,
If you're
okay.
in physical therapy and
Right.
occupational therapy and speech therapy, yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, they do. They have that, um,
Hmm.
but you also need a good support group
Hmm.
and a peer team, one-on-one counseling, because no one knows brain injury better than another brain injured person, you know,
Right.
versus, you know, me going and talking to a friend that
Right.
has,
Or a doctor. Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
so you encourage people to get involved in peer-to-peer networks, uh, such as your radio program, correct?
oh yeah, yes, yeah.
Or
The
what other programs are out there that you suggest patient get involved in as far as peer-to-peer? Are there any other groups that
okay,
come to mind?
yes, there is the Brain Injury Association of America,
Okay.
and they're located in um, Virginia, uh, Virginia Beach, and they're nationwide, and they have offices, you know, in every state. Normal, either that or Brain Injury Alliance who
Okay.
covers mostly the West Coast. Brain Injury Alliance does that. And so there's two parts, Brain Injury Alliance and the Brain Injury Association of America. And so you need to contact them. And then there was also groups like in Australia and in England, Headway in the UK, and in Canada is a support group, Headway. It's just kind of mind blowing because there's an international brain injury association as well, and then also the Brain Injury Association of America. That's a resourceful website because they have different books and literature that you can purchase or request, and they will send those to you. BIA. Pardon?
Okay, excuse me. I imagine with the internet, there's a lot more available to a person.
Oh yeah,
a lot more than before. Well, I guess you were around before the internet got popular, right?
Yes.
As far as getting involved with groups, but I think obviously the internet offers a lot of resources.
Oh yes.
But it's just a matter of the brain injury patient finding them and being directed, correct?
Yes, and they can in the hospitals and all that, like in all the rehabilitative hospitals around America, I'm sure there is computer work and all of that they can access and go to the library, and the iPhones, those are awesome. You can access that, and it is just wonderful.
Well, I guess accessibility through the internet it is amazing. Now, do you go to any in-person support groups where you go into a room with other like AA? Do you go to groups like that?
I go to my the one that I go to now is the Kansas Brain Injury. It's the Brain Injury Association of Kansas, and we meet twice a month in Wichita. So and then they also have a dinner, once a month where they go out and eat, and so the internet has really made it more accessible to find friends, and to find activities to do for anyone, but especially the brain injured community, and also maybe about 10 years ago, the support group in Wichita, the brain injury support group, went bowling. We would go bowling with the disabled American veterans from the VA, on like once a month and all that. So that was fun. And there is quite, there's a lot out there, but I believe the Brain Injury Radio Network it takes the cake.
Right, that's a basic one, a basic strong organization.
Peer-to-peer support. And then also Craig Cecilia, he has got on Facebook the Brain Injury Network, the BI. Oh gosh, he's a teacher, and he.
Is he also is he a recovering brain injury patient too?
Oh yes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's making his life work.
Oh yeah, and he's a musician, and he pays for on blogtalkradio.com.
Okay.
If you go to that page, okay, go to Blog Talk Radio.
Blog. What's the address again?
www.blogtalkradio.com.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think there's a place, Shannon, for, well, maybe you use it already, the video platform for patients to get together. It's like we're doing right now.
Yeah, well, I know we haven't yet.
Yeah, I think for patients with neurological syndromes that have a hard time getting out and going to meetings like you described, to me, it seems like that might be an area of medicine and patient support that would work pretty well. Having video chats with up to 10 people in one room.
Yeah. You know what? I want to call Kim real quick and see if she'll come on the web.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Now I want you to go to the Blog Talk Radio.
Okay, let me get that up there now. Blog Talk Radio, and just punch in. Okay. And go to which part, Shannon?
Blog Talk Radio, and search for Brain Injury Network.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you have a bunch of. Okay, let me get it up for the other people. See what I'm searching for. Okay, which link, Shannon?
Okay.
Is this the right page I'm at now?
No. Go no.
Okay. Brain Injury Network.
No. Erase that.
Go
okay.
Back to the main page.
Oh yeah, you were blocked. Yeah, you were in the right place. Yeah, you were in the right place. I'm sorry.
Okay, right there.
Oh no, I mean, go. I'll leave this here and then go to Facebook. Go, yeah.
Oh, Facebook, the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Okay. Just punch in Brain Injury Network here. Okay. Radio network or injury network?
No. It's in the middle. In the middle, yeah.
Right there? Okay. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and
they
this
have a lot of members
website. Okay. And there's Kim and her husband.
Okay.
And
based in Spokane, huh? And John Byler is a member of that group.
Well, John's part of my show. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I took him.
Say hello to John.
Yeah, I will. No, I want you to go to Brain. Okay. On Facebook, can you go to Brain? Okay. Brain Injury. BIRN. No, that's okay. Hold on a minute. Okay.
Okay.
No. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Let's go. Okay. Okay. Brain Injury Ready. Okay.
Brain Injury Support Group, Brain Injury Association,
Brain
Injury Network.
TBI. Oh, yeah. TBI Network. I'm sorry.
TBI Network.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
That's a separate group altogether, right? That deals specifically with TBI.
Yeah. Well, we are a part of the same group. Okay. But this is Craig has a camp for there's the camp.
Okay.
And it is if people from all over America go to the camp
Oh,
in
okay. Where's in
Washington.
Wichita?
No, in Washington State.
Spokane?
Uh-huh, yeah. Um, yeah. And it's just, yeah.
Okay. And these sites are very busy, right? They have a
Oh,
lot of
yeah.
people that come to them.
Yeah.
Now, your radio show, are you pretty booked as far as phone calls? You get constant phone calls?
Well, if sometimes I do, but I really select my calls and who I'm going to interview.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they can call. I've gotten a lot of prank phone calls,
Okay.
and that's not very nice.
That comes with the
So,
territory.
yeah, I know.
I know. I had a medical student today. They didn't want to tell me his name or where he's located, and he used a pseudonym. So, in all fields, you get wackos. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Now,
I invite you, Shannon, to any of the people that participate in your platform to come on.
yeah.
And if you want to do this regularly every week, you're welcome to. I certainly encourage you to use a video platform.
All right, hold on a minute, okay?
To reach out to other to have patience, because no, I'm not saying anything. Radio is fine, but video is another possibility anyway.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I want Kim to go. Okay, so I'm gonna have her go to Google Hangouts.
Yeah, I'll send you. I'll give you the link.
Can we just call her?
I'm sorry.
Can we call her? Oh, I know. I don't want to leave the call. Okay.
No, you can just give her the same link, or we can do that. We can do this some other time. Maybe next week.
Okay.
We can schedule. Why don't we do that next week, Shannon? You can maybe arrange with her to be on. Kim's pretty active in your network.
Oh well, she's the one that she took over for Craig because he's a musician and he's traveling.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Hold on a minute. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna have her call me, and then I'm gonna hold the phone up.
Okay. So all right. A little unusual, but why not?
Yeah, but I
don't. Why not? We make the rules.
Yeah. All right. So, okay, she's grabbing her earbuds. Yeah. Oh, Kim. She used to be. She used before she hooked up with Brain Injury Radio. She had a show. On Kim had an aneurysm in the middle. She was a financial advisor.
Okay.
And she had an aneurysm in the car with her dad. Her dad was driving.
Okay.
And she had, it was just terrible.
Okay, and that's how she got involved with the network.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay, yeah. So she'll call. But
okay. Yeah, so it's mostly people that have suffered from brain injuries that work in your network. That work with you.
Oh yeah, yeah. They that have had every host is a survivor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, can you talk a little bit about the Bison Project? Are you part of that?
No. Okay. John. I'm not gonna. Okay. We're not gonna talk about the Bison. Okay.
Okay. Later. Yeah, we'll talk about it later.
I don't want to promote that. Okay.
No problem.
Hello.
Hi, Shannon.
Okay. Can you hear John? Can you hear John?
Hello, Kim. How are you?
Good, John. How are you?
I can hear you fine.
I can hear you, but not like you were right here.
Yeah, well, you know, Kim, I'm here with a couple of medical or potential medical students, and Shannon. We're just talking about you know, what a brain injury patient faces, the challenges, and the structure of your organization, what you guys are doing. You know, we have a channel, Neurosurgical TV, which mostly deals with doctors giving presentations. But as you know, there's certainly a need for the patients to have a voice, and to be actually, the neurosurgeons highly suggest that we're impressed when they met John Byler and Shannon, because they said, well, our patients need that. It's more, you know, it's part of the aftercare after they operate. I understand you had an aneurysm, but you kind of need some aftercare, and sometimes the neurosurgeon will direct it.
Kim, tell him your story.
Well, I can tell you something to piggyback on what you just said that's interesting. I did have a ruptured brain aneurysm and was in a coma for 11 days. It was in 95, and I had a visiting neurosurgeon who was taught by that Swiss doctor. I'm sorry, I have to look in my book and see his name, but he was the one who started doing microsurgical techniques, and I guess every neurosurgeon has this guy's book on his desk.
Right.
And I'll tell you a story about that in a minute, as
Okay.
soon as I can think of it. But my visiting neurosurgeon had studied with that Swiss surgeon who was known to, I think he was Swiss, a pioneer of microsurgical techniques, and also because they didn't have the tools, the clips, and the things like that to go with the concept, that doctor also made some of the, well, like the clip that's in my head. And again, I can look this up, but don't let me blow my momentum for a minute or I'll forget. But in any case, John Fox did my surgery. He was the visiting neurosurgeon. And so after a couple, you know, checks and I could walk and talk, that was the end of it, you know, the end of our relationship. And my internist, I quit going to because he misdiagnosed me and nearly killed me. So that undermined my confidence in him. And I got a new internist, but nobody ever suggested, you know, that I see a neurologist or that I do anything. And so I started going to the doctor about what I call the top 10 symptoms that, regardless of the source of the brain injury, a lot of us share: short-term memory loss, neurofatigue, brain fog, you know, some kind of confusion, usually sleep disorders. And I could give you a list, but being a host for 5 years, I've heard whether it's been a TBI, a stroke, an aneurysm, an anoxic brain injury, whatever it might be, some combination of those 10, almost all of us seem to have. But I shouldn't use the word validate what you said, is that I went 17 years. There was no support group. Each of my symptoms was getting treated separately, not being validated that they all stemmed from having had my bean cracked, having a craniotomy with, you know, and a bleeding aneurysm. They just treated all the symptoms different, like, you know, each thing was different. And, you know, the first line of defense seemed to be pill pop, you know, throwing pills at it. And when that didn't work, you know, they want to make you crazy. So, or there's a lack of anything else to try, and so they send you to a psychiatrist. And that pattern is still being repeated at an alarming rate between 95 and 2017. But it was interesting because last year a woman who had a brain aneurysm did start a support group. Now, 20 years down the road, whatever it's been, I don't really need to go to that support group, but I did want to go and support her in doing the group. And so I went, and at the University of Nebraska Medical Center, the go-to neurosurgeon for, at least for aneurysms, I don't know if that's across the board or not, how encompassing a neurosurgeon is. The only one I've ever met did an aneurysm, and I know that Dr. Thorell he's the go-to aneurysm guy at University of Nebraska Medical Center. Well, when this gal approached him, because he had been her doctor, about having a support group there at the university, you know, in one of the rooms at the university, he okayed it. And it was interesting because that first one, and I had met Dr. Thorell before once, and so it was the second time I saw him, and we went around the room, and, you know, everybody kind of told when their incident was, and a little bit about ourselves. And when it got to Dr. Thorell, I was very impressed by his humbled attitude that he said, you know, I am so glad that you guys brought this support group, because we hear the same questions out of every single one of our patients. And people would like to think that a neurosurgeon knows something about these after effects. He said, but what we do is go to, all day long, is go to surgical suite after surgical suite after surgical suite after surgical suite, and we perform neurosurgery. And when we're not doing that, we're studying the latest techniques, you know, new whatever technology, etc. And frankly, we don't have the answers.
Well, you know, let me just interrupt you for a second, Kim. That is basically my position.
Hold on a minute.
Is to use video platforms to get patients together to discuss what you mentioned about the issues facing. Because like you said, doctors are super busy. They run from patient to patient, surgery to surgery. And then when the patient wants to discuss the long-term effects, the short-term memory problems, they don't have time. They're rushing to see the next patient. So I think video platform, in my opinion, and my rewarding experiences with using video platforms like this one, I think there's a place in rehab for patients with neurological problems. That's my big position.
Certainly there would be. I'm not sure what they told you about radio or what you're looking for, but
no, no, not to take the place of radio, just an additional place for patients to go, an additional option.
Well, I don't see why not.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to try it. We're going to try it. I think Shannon wants to do it maybe once a week, maybe. And we'd like to have you come on as a guest if you'd like. And I think Shannon's going to kind of run it the way she sees fit. I mean, she's in the field of patients recovering and knows a lot more than I would know about it. And so she's kind of going to give us direction and ideas on topics, etc.
And I need your help, Kim.
Well, that was my concern, Doctor, was only when Shannon, I just heard about this today, and the way it was put to me, she's had a show banner for the 3 years that she's been a host, and she's got a lot of radio miles logged with that banner. And when you see that banner,
yeah, we took that banner down. I didn't realize that there was a conflict, but that banner's down. And we're not trying to steal her radio patients. We're just providing an additional platform for patients to plug in.
Yeah, and Kim, this could be a new avenue to get some funding.
Well, we can talk about that later.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't know if you're interested in hearing about the ad, but it really could help promote what you guys are doing beyond Kansas and world.
Yeah, no, yeah, he is in Florida, Kim, and Kim covers all the athletes. She has covered the wrestlers, and Dr. Amadou
Dr. Amalu, he's been on my show. Dr. Dukowski, who was depicted with him in the movie Concussion, Kevin Nowinski, Montel Williams.
And
a lot of veterans, a lot of athletes. Dr. Evan Alexander, who had the NDE after he had his encephalopathy or whatever it was that he had. I've been a weekly host for 5 years, and I'm the director of operations with Brain Injury Radio, and on the board at TBI Survivor Network. And so I'm all for that. One of the things we're doing at Brain Injury Radio at the moment, that and you might have your own mechanism, I just wasn't sure exactly the call, so I'll just tell you that we're selling, we're a nonprofit, and our founder works 4 jobs to keep us on the air.
Craig, yeah. I told him about Craig, yeah.
And so one of the things that we're going to do, we used to do sponsors. Like, I've been approached 3 times and had sponsors for just my show. The network has had sponsors for the entire network. But Craig wanted to do something different. I don't agree with it. I think it's too good of a deal. His background is in education. Mine is in business. So there you go. But what he's wanting to do is with about a half a dozen, and there would only be like 1 doctor. I think a publishing company would be good. 1 publishing company, 1, let's say, lawyer that specializes in TBI law. He wants a half a dozen companies to buy ads.
Okay, we can talk about that later. Kim, I'm going to wrap this up, and we can talk after we're off the air. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming to Shannon's first show, and we'll see where it goes from here. And thanks a lot, Melanie. Do you have any remarks, Melanie, before we close?
Just thank you for the opportunity. It was great to hear.
And Melanie, I would like to have you as a guest because you're going to be a doctor.
She wants to be a neurosurgeon. She's a fledgling neurosurgeon.
Cardio.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused with Diana. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, we'll talk some more after we go off the air.
Okay.